Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
So in today's episode of Can't Stop, Won't Stop, Diddy is now applying for his third attempt on getting out of jail. As his attorney, Mark Agnifilo, said in a previous press conference, they are going to appeal the judge's decision to keep Diddy incarcerated until trial. Well, instead of using Agnifilo to file his appeal, Diddy has decided to employ his own dream team. Anthony Riccio, who is said to be one of the finest trial lawyers in the country, he served as learned counsel on approximately 45 federal death penalty cases across the country, hoping to turn many of those cases from death penalty to life sentences. And then we have attorney Alexandra Shapiro, who has extensive knowledge of the system from her work on many high-profile cases in the Southern District of New York and is one of the top white-collar defense attorneys and appellate attorneys in the country. So Diddy is taking on the OJ approach and deciding to build his own dream team. When just one attorney is not cutting it for you, you bring in others with extensive knowledge in certain fields and bond them together like transformers until you have this big monster. And this just in the Can't Stop, Won't Stop. A group of investigators from the Southern District of New York have recently touched down in London after learning that Combs may have abused women in the UK. Now, we all remember in the Don Richard lawsuit, she alleged that Diddy gang-ard his assistant and left her in the UK without her passport to even get back. Now, they are saying that Diddy possibly transported both across state lines and internationally for forced or commercial sexual prostitution. So when I say that they are on this man, they are on this man. They are not letting up. We are going to get into this and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it. So when you have access to funds like Diddy, typically being locked up is not an option. But if they do indeed decide to capture you, you exhaust all of your resources in trying to get out. And that's exactly what Diddy is doing. Now, Diddy was denied twice by two separate judges, but on yesterday, his new addition to his legal team, Alexandra Shapiro, filed a notice stating their intent to appeal. So this isn't the official appeal brief, however, it will be filed soon. Now again, Alexandra is a beast in the appeal game, and that's why they are allowing her to handle this part. Now in this document, she's simply letting the courts know that she plans to appeal the order denying Diddy's release on conditions that was entered on 9/18. Diddy was committed to jail. She is representing him as his legal counsel, and $605 was paid as a docketing fee for this appeal notice. Now, will this appeal be granted? I believe it's highly unlikely. Just like with R. Kelly, his attorney tried to get him released 4 times and it never happened. And this was also in the Southern District of New York. So I feel Diddy is far more dangerous and is a threat to the community. And not only that, a threat to the prosecution's witnesses. I just feel it's far too risky to have Diddy out here on the streets. But again, this is a court of public opinion. So what do I know? We're going to have to see what the judge feels about it. For the longest, I've been looking at Diddy and Agnifilo, and I'm like, why did he choose this man? Because this man seems to be fumbling the ball and he's getting paid to do it. As much as we may despise him, Diddy is still an outside of the box thinker. This man can ensemble hit girl groups, boy groups. He could put together records that we never thought would have been hit. This man knew that putting his life in Agnifilo's hands alone was not going to work. I believe when that spiritual advisor came into the jail to meet with Diddy, Diddy went on a fast and Diddy started to think, because as soon as Diddy started eating again, that's when he got these attorneys. He came up with his dream team. Diddy needed to think about what he was doing. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Diddy is going to win, because in my eyes, I'm still looking at him like,
oh, you federally fucked now.
However, he's just not handing the win over to the prosecution now like he would have if he only had Agnifilo. Now they have to work for it a little bit. And speaking of working for it, the U.S. Sun is reporting that investigators flew over to the UK for possible Brit victims. It's being said that Diddy spent a lot of time in London over his career, and he looked at London as a second home. The team of U.S. detectives currently in the UK is reportedly being led by Damian Williams, who is the same prosecutor who built a successful case against Jeffrey Epstein's right-hand woman, Ghislaine Maxwell. A source told the Mirror outside of the States he enjoyed no place more than the UK. Given the huge amount of time he spent in London, there are concerns that the alleged offending was not confined to American shores. Prosecutors are imploring anyone in the UK who may have information they feel could help the investigation to get in touch.
Hey!
'cause the FEDS is on his ass.
Now, if you recall in Don Richard's complaint, it said on their last night in Glasgow, Ms. Richard witnessed Mr. Combs and several other males gangbanging Mr. Combs' female assistant at the hotel pool. Ms. Richard immediately left and went to her hotel room. On their flight back to the United States the next day, Ms. Richard asked Mr. Combs where his assistant was. Mr. Combs replied, "I don't give a fuck where that bitch is." Ms. Richard later learned that Mr. Combs had taken the assistant's passport with him to the United States, leaving the assistant stranded in the United Kingdom. Now, typically in the complaint, Don would name his assistant as Capricorn Clark, but I guess given the situation of the assistant being gangbanged, Don did not list the assistant's name. She just said that the person was female. However, I do feel like what Don spoke about in her complaint may be what's helping investigators to go over to the UK to investigate a little more. I believe Capricorn would be a strong witness for the prosecution, being that not only was she with Diddy for a long time as his assistant, she saw where all of the bodies were buried, no pun intended, and Diddy allegedly put hands on her before. Take a listen to this.
Same time he beat the shit out of motherfucking, what's a little girl named Cassie or whatever. He had an assistant by the name of Capricorn. He felt Capricorn, Cap was keeping this shit on the low about if she was messing with Cuddy or not. Puffy beat the shit out that bitch. Not only did he beat the shit out of her, it was an Interscope person, the Interscope check that paid her to settle or he wouldn't go to jail.
And right before that episode aired with Suge, Capricorn Clark said this shortly after Cassie filed her lawsuit. "Don't take the path of the wicked. Don't follow those who do evil. Stay away from the path. Don't even go near it. Turn around and go another way." Proverbs 4:14. Doors be unlocked. You gotta be willing to walk away from the money. Full stop. 2011 was hell. Tragic kingdom. And according to Don's complaint, in October of 2010, Dirty Money performed in Glasgow, Scotland, in the United Kingdom, and that's when it's being alleged that Diddy gangbanged his assistant with other males, took her passport, left her in the United Kingdom. I'm not sure how long she had to stay over there, but that's what happened. Don did not confirm that Capricorn Clark was this assistant. However, that was the only assistant she spoke about in the complaint. Not too long after Suge said what he had to say, Capricorn took to Twitter and said, "Black women end up being the sacrifice for the effery. Last 11 years of my life, I had to deal with everyone's nonsensical allegiance to the devil. I pray that ends. I don't think highly of any of you. Can't keep your head down plus pretend shit is cool. No more. Do better." And she also said they will skin you and rear you, baby girl, then pretend they never wanted the skin. Kim was the only person who didn't switch up. The only one. Dark times.
And also Cassie for holding me down in the dark times. Love.
I'm personally very triggered. I pray it's over. I never deserved this. Stop. Hashtag protect black women, IRL. Hashtag rest in peace, Kim. Now, being that Capricorn did settle with Diddy, I believe in a federal trial, she still can take the stand. Someone get in the comments and let me know for sure. But y'all, it's just so much going on with Diddy. I cannot keep up. I don't know what's going to happen. I think this man is going to do time. I don't think he's getting off on this, but I need to hear from you. What do you think about everything going on in the world of Diddy? Do you think that the judge will grant this third attempt for him trying to get out? And also, what do you think about the federal agents going over to the UK to search and see what they can find? Leave a comment and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching. But before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any of my new episodes.